The other big benefit of being in this room is the people that you meet. I was having, one of those periodic midlife crises that you have, which I have every few weeks really, going, what do I want to do now? And I was like, do I want to do any more speaking, or do I want to go wandering around Mozambique some more? And one of the things that I realised is that probably my 10 closest friends, biggest influences, greatest mentors, people that I admire the most, if I made a top 10 list of people in my life, other than my family, would be all people that I've met at these kind of events. Either from speaking at them, meeting other speakers, or people coming up to me and saying, hey, you might know. And one of our people who's going to talk tomorrow afternoon is someone who came to one of these events, whether it's making cupcakes, or making money, or staying married, or running races, or whatever. We've all got something that we're good at. So that thing, just take a moment now and think about that thing that you do well, whatever it might be. And there will be some key elements to how you do that well, that you have figured out over the years, but you probably don't know that you know. Because do you remember the first business that I showed you this morning that was for sale on the internet? Does anyone remember what it was? What was it? Roofing business. And do you remember the numbers roughly? It was for sale for $795,000, I think. And it was making about 400-ish profit, 400,000 a year profit. So how many customers do you reckon it would take in a roofing business to make $400,000 a year profit? Not that many probably, is it? Maybe say you got $1,000 of each customer, then it might be 400, or I don't know. So did you notice the site that Matt put up that sold for $30? That was roofingroofers.com or something? Roofingroofers.com, and it sold for how much? $30. Yeah. So they have a few hundred customers. You could bring them $20,000 a month times 12 months, so another 240,000 potential customers a year for $30.
Yep, absolutely.
So if you were going to buy that roofing business, that might be a good website to buy and tack on the end of it, hey? And so I thought, I really need to get over this. If I'm going to grow my business, I actually need to get over this whole phobia thing, and I need to put myself out there. And so I was okay. There'd been a couple of small newspaper articles and magazine articles written about me, and I thought the thing that I'm most scared of is TV. It's that whole thing of TV's not flattering, and I don't like photos of myself. And so I was having all sorts of insecurity issues about the TV. I thought, right, I have to be on TV. So I wrote that down on the 1st of January when Jeff, George and I sitting there doing our goals for the year. And on the 4th of January, I went on a dive trip off Brisbane. And we were heading out in the boat, and there'd been a cyclone up north or something. And I said to the guys who were running the trip, because I wasn't running it, I was just a passenger, I said, are you sure we should be going out? And this, and yeah, it's all right. And later on I found out that I had way more experience than they did, and I probably should have listened to my own judgment. Anyway, to cut a long story short, we had to get rescued. The helicopters got filmed. We were on TV. My dive buddy and policeman in the Northern Territory rang me and said, please don't tell me that was you, I just saw on the news. I'm like, yeah, that was me. So I rewrote my goal. Instead of just being, I want to be on TV, which is what I'd written, I wrote, I want to be on TV for doing something good. Then later on that month, I went to the previously mentioned conference in the US, and the Florida TV channel was interviewing some of the speakers, so they came and interviewed me and ran it on Florida local television. And so I'm like, okay, that's still not the point. So I had to change it to, I want to be on TV for... No, it wasn't. I want to be on TV doing something business related, not something good, in Australia. So then I went on, I think it was a Reno Kings TV show or something. They had a current affairs show and they called it Chicks and Bricks, and it was about women doing, it was at the beginning of Property Women, I think. And so I went on a current affair, and I was talking about how I buy properties that have got a problem and businesses that don't make any money, and I put the two together, and the stuff we talked about yesterday. And while I'm talking to them, they zoom in on their camera on the name of the business that's behind us in the building that I'm buying, which is not the business that is in trouble, and imply, not to try, shows like Current Affair might actually mislead people or anything, and imply that I'm buying this business that's in financial difficulty. And the guy was kind of annoyed, kind of lawsuit annoyed. And so I had to change that goal to, I want to be on TV doing something business related in Australia and not get sued. She was saying that there's very few volunteers in my kind of age group. So there's like elderly people, And then there's young students or migrants and things, but there's nobody in that kind of 30 to 50 kind of age bracket, because most of them time they're way too busy just dealing with working and raising children and things. And I said, oh, what's it like having all these Generation Y volunteers as having to manage them all? Because she manages about 1,000 volunteers, this coordinator. And she said, oh, they're just like us, only they've got self-esteem. That was probably true. And it's all your fault, you parents. That's what you did that. The nice thing with developing business instead of property is that it actually doesn't need that much. It needs some energy and drive. Half a brain would be good, but I have seen evidence that it's not necessarily essential. And being willing to develop some skills. Seriously, you look at some of the people, and you would know these people that are in business making a fortune, and you go, but you're a moron. There's quite a few. In fact, I reckon if you did a bit of a graph of morons versus geniuses and seeing which ones were actually making money in business, I'm thinking that the geniuses are probably not it. And why do you think that is? Yeah, I think because the smart people overthink it. And sometimes just, the morons just do it because they don't know any better. They don't know it's going to hurt, so they just do it. And they make a whole lot of money, and it never did hurt because they never expected it to. So the cool thing about business is that in this environment, where it is difficult to get capital, that if you've got the determination and you're willing to learn and you've got an open mind, then that's pretty much the only ingredient you need. All the rest of it you can get. So you can start with a lot less resources than you need to start in property.